Rico, the opinionist. Got my clothes in the dryer, so I got a couple of minutes I can talk to y'all about something really quickly. I know it's been a while. What's up, my YouTube family? My YouTube conversationalist. What's up? I know it's been a minute. I'm gonna try to put more content on here for you. I say it all the time whenever I'm gone for a period of time, but I do kind of feel the promise, right? Y'all continue to like, share, and subscribe. Please like this video. Please subscribe to this video. And hopefully YouTube will allow this video to stay on my page, because my very first one I did on the 2nd of September, they didn't allow it to be uploaded. So yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. So I want to say this. People, well, the whole topic of, after the unaliving of Charlie Kirk, people have, they've been throwing memorials and having vigils all across the country, and it's their right, because you have the right to rate the person that you like or you support it. You do, and no one has the right to interfere with those vigils and start stuff. I've seen some people, go and interrupt people when they're having their Charlie Kirk vigils, and because this just happened. School was this. Some black female walked up on a bunch of Charlie Kirk supporters and went to rambling her piece. And one of the persons told her, "Hey, if you want to be heard, go and get your own rally." I thought that was fair, because I'm that kind of guy. I believe people should say what they want to say, even after someone passes away. I know we have this whole thing about, well, you don't disrespect the dead and all that. Tommy Sotomayor said something. Shout out to Tommy Sotomayor. He said something years ago. He said, "Damn, yeah, you say don't disrespect the dead, but a lot of you disrespect people who are alive, who can hear you and see you disrespect them." So I said, what, that makes sense. But people put their own values around whatever it is that they choose to put their values on. And so I'm saying all this to say that free speech is not just the speech you agree with. I'm sorry. If you truly believe in freedom of speech and freedom of the press and freedom of expression, well, it can be the ones that you agree with or you approve of. That's not how that works. And so I want to tell all the Charlie Kirk supporters and lovers, including the president, President Trump, all of you left-wing media, right-wing media, I want to say to the employers across the country, stop letting people tell you to fire folks because they don't have anything, because they choose not to have anything pleasant to say about Charlie Kirk. I don't like this one goddamn bit. I don't like it. People fire because their opinions, their thoughts, their freedom of speech, their freedom of expression about Charlie Kirk. And there are a lot of opinions about it. He was no angel. He was no angel. Y'all want to say he was about Jesus Christ? That's to the an all-white audience. Like they accuse like white nationalists of being holy Christians, but only if you white. Well, it was Charlie Kirk, in my opinion, my freedom of speech being expressed here. And a lot of people didn't care for him. And those of you who are just literally mourning his death, you have the right to do that. But you don't have the right to attack anybody who does not share your view about Charlie Kirk. That's not cool. That's not democracy. That's not respecting the right to free speech and freedom of the press, freedom of expression. All these rights we're supposed to have under this democratic system that we live under and supposed to operate under. Because there are a lot of folks, they're across, across the internet and across this country, people have been calling their jobs and reporting their comments. I don't like that. That's not cool, man. Because if you start some mess like nobody be able to say anything, then y'all getting upset because people are making good comparisons. And y'all are getting really mad because people are bringing Charlie Kirk's words back to life. Words that statements actually made about black people, about LGBT, about black people, now recently about trans and about black people, what he thought about black folks. You know, and again, why is it so? Why is it such a pertinent issue for white conservatives to always talk about what's going on with black folks? I find that amazing. Even the black conservatives, when they want to make some money, when they want to keep their 90% white based on their YouTube channels, their TikTok channels, all they do is run down what they believe are statistics about black people. And I don't like that shit. Because for the longest, we've all said, what about white on white crime? Well, okay, God dog it. We've had all these mass shootings that have happened within weeks of each other and by trans shooters or those who, according to this guy, in a quote-unquote relationship with his trans roommate. White folks, y'all got a lot to talk about in your own community. Let's talk about statistics. You know, you want to get upset when people express their thoughts about Charlie Kirk, but Charlie Kirk says some messed up stuff. You know, when it comes to George Floyd and all he said, he had a whole lot of derogatory things to say. And when people return, all of a sudden, y'all say stuff, y'all been saying stuff like this, and I even acknowledged it because it's something to acknowledge. Hey, he had a wife and kids. You know, and then y'all say, well, the whole world saw the children, the children saw, the wife saw her husband or the children saw their father get taken out. Well, you know who else had wife and children or had children, family members? Eric Garner. The world watched this cop literally choked the life out of Eric Garner. Philando Castillo. The world saw that cop, that non-black cop, that Asian or white and Asian mixed cop shoot and kill Philando Castillo. Do I need to go down the list? The world watched this white cop murder George Floyd, who had kids. So y'all stop that. Don't try to make this white man more human than anybody else. He was the same as those other men that the media got together to demonize. So media, and matter of fact, y'all encouraged them to attack these men. And the list goes on and on about how many black men or black people. Guess what? Y'all know something else? The world saw that cop shoot that black woman in the face when she said, I rebuke you in the blood in the name of Jesus, and that cop killed her. Lion said she was ducking down to go get a weapon. She was ducking down because they had the gun point her face. Y'all stop the hypocrisy, and black people, get a fucking grip. Y'all stop this. Well, you know, he was telling the truth. Well, yeah, he was telling the truth, the actual truth, Malcolm X, and y'all stop comparing Charlie Kirk to Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Charlie Kirk was nowhere near nowhere near those great men. Nowhere near. Charlie Kirk was not speaking on behalf of humanity. He was speaking on behalf of his whiteness and everyone who looks like him. Malcolm X and Dr. King did not make money off of belittling white folks. He spoke facts of the history of behavior. Charlie Kirk made a living off of belittling black folks, like these black conservatives do the same thing. And I want to know now to you black conservatives on YouTube, those of you who are about to, you love Charlie Kirk. He was a Christian man. He's a family man. Well, those black men who were murdered in our face on TV, we had to watch this trauma. Isn't it interesting that y'all don't want to see white folks or see his admirers relive that trauma, and y'all played it all day long, ABC, CBS, NBC News? So black folks can live out that trauma over and over and over again. But y'all trying to shut down everything that talks about or shows how Charlie Kirk died. Isn't that weird? And black people, pay attention. Y'all stop trying to, well, no, we just all trying to be human under Christ. Well, no, that's not how that works. You know, a preacher saying, I don't hardly agree with Negro preachers, but it's one going around. He said, how can you expect for nice things to be said when you're dead when you just say nice things when you're alive? And that's the truth. And I'm glad they're giving him that smoke. I'm glad because he deserves it. He deserves to be honored by his peers. He also deserves that smoke for the other part of what he is. It's funny how all these media sources are trying to just only show him and as this great figure to them. But Charlie Kirk, he had his little debates. But you know, again, he was a husband, a father, and if you go and check out some of my videos on my Facebook page, so everybody else was a husband and a father. So what makes him so special? Nothing. Just his race and the color of his skin, or the non-color of his skin. But you know that when you own the media, you can push a narrative really hard. You can make or break somebody. You can make someone into a deity, like they're trying to do with Charlie Kirk. And I'm so proud of people, and it's some white folks too. White folks, not just blacks, who are all being honest in this moment. And they're getting fired. People are trying to dox them and get these people fired, and I don't like that. If you truly believe that we live in a democracy, stop that bullshit right now. Just suck it up and move on. Go to his funeral or whatever you need to go to whatever they're doing. Just go to it and you move on. Because he was not a one-dimensional person, right? Don't we say that about folks? Charlie Kirk was not a one-dimensional person. He's multi-dimensional. And he said all kinds of stuff. He was, I guess he was a multiple person offender, multiple group offender. And he probably said some stuff. I saw quite a few of his videos. He, he was shutting down a lot of those little liberal kids and the trans and all of that. Then he started pushing around the misinformation. Black people are 13% of the population, but they commit over 50% of crime. That's been debunked so many times. But he and other conservatives, black, white, or other, get to push that narrative, and it's really sick when the black conservatives do it. Because you know you've gotten away from your own race, and I'm with you. Not everybody in the race, but you've curried the favor of the white population against your own race, and so when they put you down, where you gonna go to? They're not gonna invite you to one of those Arkansas neighborhoods that all white, or Urania. They're not gonna invite you to Urania in South Africa. They're not gonna invite you to that Arkansas town when they wanted to be all white. They're not going to invite you Negroes there. Ask the Hodge twins. See, and then they're saying, and for those of you who even thought that Charlie Kirk brought the country together, no, he didn't. He was not a great uniter. He wasn't. Charlie Kirk was just a privileged white male, titled privileged white male, got to live out the American dream, like everybody else should be able to do, and everyone that has the right to do. Like everyone has a right to give their opinion about him and anybody else. And they should not be penalized, like losing their jobs or losing their channels. They shouldn't be. Because what that is showing you blatantly, you want to say the Trump administration is so polarizing and divisive. Nah, man. Those of you who swear you're not like President Trump, which y'all accuse him of being great dictator, Hitler and all that. Well, when y'all attack people for having their own opinion about Charlie Kirk's existence when he was here, you're no better than what you accuse President Trump of. And I don't agree with, let me go here. I don't agree with President Trump and JD Vance and the whole administration, them worshiping this him like he's a statesman. He was not. I didn't agree with him lowering the damn flag half-mast for him. He was just a regular person. He wasn't a congressman, a senator. I don't think that little bastard went to the military. But let you know, just keep your eyes on people, see who they are, and it's cool. Because one thing we should recognize, we don't vote for politicians because we like their personality. You vote for politicians to see if they address the things that you want done. So Trump was just being Trump, and showing his ass. That's what he does. I'm not excusing that racist behavior. That's what he does. He's a white man. That's what white men do. They look out for their white community. And these Negroes is around here attacking other blacks because of their opinions about Charlie Kirk. And you white folks attacking other whites and everybody else and black folks for their opinions about Charlie Kirk that's not favorable to you or favorable of him. Go somewhere and have a bunch of fucking seats. And you doing that, and you employers out here, all you employers, you need to shut the fuck up and don't ever spew democracy out your mouth. If you fired people for their comments, or their commentaries, their tweets, their video, their YouTube, their TikTok, you need to rehire those people. Give them back their damn jobs. And that's for anything. Yeah. I don't like that, because don't make him bigger than what he was. That's what y'all are doing, and we're not buying it. And I'm so proud of people coming out fighting against that. You know, and I want to say to JD Vance. So, and President Trump, I'm trying to see if I heard him call the shooter a monster. Or, I think he called him sick and deranged. Uh, and so, uh, JD Vance, this is for you, Vice President JD Vance. I haven't heard you refer to the shooter as lawless thug. You know, the way you call those black men in Cincinnati, when you thought, and you admitted, I didn't watch the entire video, but these lawless thugs, JD Vance, anybody tag him in his video. I'm waiting on you to refer to this murderer of Charlie Clark as a lawless thug. Use that black code language on this trans lover or this trans guy. Use it, Charlie. I mean, use it, JD Vance. You thought you got away with that? And then you want to be the president in 2028? Yeah, all right. And I'll make sure we're reminded of you showing your white ass. You think because you married to a tan woman who passes the brown paper bag test in India, or she's one of she's one of the ones who benefit from the caste system in India. She's not dark. You think because you married to that you get a pass for attacking blacks? Get out of here, man. That wasn't cool at all. And you have yet, JD Vance, to come out and say, you know what? When it found out that it was the white man that started the whole melee by slapping the black man, you never came out, JD Vance. You never came out and said, you know what? I stand corrected. The lawless thug was the one who started, and that was a white man. So you don't get a pass, JD Vance. People going to remember that. We're going to remember all of this. Because a lot of us who voted Republican that are non-white, especially black folks. You know, I think about, what's this, 12 to 17 of black men who voted for President Trump this time? Well, they may not transfer to you, brother. Y'all better get a white Republican who hadn't opened his mouth. Or at least, JD Vance, you come out and publicly apologize statement. Yeah, that's what you need to do, bro. But that was racist. It was just so coded when you thought it was black men that started that melee. Lawless thugs. Y'all love that. Fox, you should be a Fox News reporter, JD Vance. And President Trump, take it easy, man. You know, I know you're on your way out, but still, you're walking a tightrope there, bro. So, but anyway, this your man Rico. Rico, the opinionist. Please, y'all, like, share, and subscribe. I just want to give my thoughts on that because I've been sitting on it. And I don't think it's fair. We don't have to like what people say, the freedom of expression and all of that, but they don't have the right to be fired. In this instance, to be fired for their opinions about this particular person. Now we can go by case on this. Across the board, some people need to be gone if they're hurting people on the job and all this, but they just say, hey, I don't care. I didn't care for this person. I don't care if he is no longer living with us, because y'all surely did when other people died, especially if they was black folks, all kinds of racist jokes and not. Let me tell y'all something else. In my hometown of Memphis, Fox 13 News on their website, the first time in history, they stopped the comments on their website. It lets you know how deep this shit is going. I need black people to pay attention. And so-called goodwill, liberal whites, y'all get your people in check. Because we're paying attention to everything. We're no longer those same black folks that back in the day. We just like, no, we'll just let the law handle it. No, we calling you out and we on your ass. We're getting back there. So again, have at it. People should be able to, if you truly believe in democracy or a democratic society, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, all those are two of the main tenements. Like the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. You know, we can't shake and move the Constitution when it suits us. We can't ignore it when it suits us. Keep it going, even when it doesn't benefit you at that very moment. And y'all can have your little celebration about Charlie Kirk, but you know, a lot of folks didn't care, and they should be allowed to say, I didn't care about what he said. I don't give a damn. And they should be able to say other things, and they should be able to just throw his words back at him. Because some happen to any of us, they always go back to their timeline and say, well, you know, he said this, he said that. And it's been done to everybody. People find their old tweets, their old Facebook posts, their old YouTube channel videos, TikTok videos, and they bring them up. And it should be the same thing for Charlie Kirk. He said a lot of disgusting things about quite a few groups, especially black folks. I guess he FAFO found out that he couldn't say those things about a protected class called trans. So man, Rico, the opinions. Please like, share, and subscribe. My Cash App, my Venmo, my PayPal, they're always popping. And we're almost there to 1,000 subscribers. I need about 100 more of you to hit it. And I need about 1,000, maybe 1,200 more watch hours. So please share, like, and subscribe. Nate said, get a job. Nate, eat a dick. I have a job. Matter of fact, I have 3 of them. 3 of them, Nate. So that shit right there. You just made an assumption. You said you need, what you mean? What is that? Anyway, there to go to nonsense. I don't know what that is. But anyway, thank y'all so much, those of you who come on. And y'all be cool. I'll hit y'all later. Peace.